It's the Exit 52 podcast on Sunday, May 19th, another series recap coming at you. My name is Jake Louque, and I'm joined by, once again, it's 2 out of 3, Arditti. Always good to see 2 out of 3 in the name box there. How we doing, sir?
We are good. We just got back from the game. That was a fun one. Was there last night, not so much a fun one, but today was one of the more enjoyable. That was one of the better played games they've had all year. So watching Corbin Burnes absolutely shove like that from behind home plate in section 38, I think it was awesome. That was the Corbin Burnes from opening day that yes, this is who we have. This guy's the best pitcher in the AL. He's the best pitcher in baseball when he's on. So it was good. It was a fun series. It was the Mariners are a team who are above 500, so the Orioles just keep stacking those wins against better teams, good opponents. So that's all you can ask for. They had another good winning homestand, their longest one of the season, and now they go on the road for a little bit, but they took care of business at home. So 29-15, nobody is mad at that.
No, absolutely not. And yeah, I wasn't able to watch pretty much the first half of the game, maybe even a little bit less. I was out there hacking it around in the gloomy weather at Forest Park, and then got back, watched him close it out, watched my guy Uncle Craig get himself a save for the first time in what feels like forever. That was huge. Got to do just a full-bodied, big, strong version of the picture today, and that was great. But yeah, Corbin Burnes, that's good to hear. It sounds like you're all the way back in on the guy. You couldn't stop dumping on him for not having that day one type performance. So here you are.
No. It's hard. I was never dumping on him, but again, he is a 2.5 ERA. It's like you can only ask for so much. Orioles fans, we should not be poo-pooing a guy with a 2.5 ERA or whatever it was. But no, it was good to see him come out. And again, the pitchers for Seattle all weekend. Castillo's insane. Gilbert's awesome. These guys are Kirby. These guys are really, really good. So again, for him to match up against Kirby, who's one of the better pitchers in the AL, that was a dominant sit down Seattle. The grown-ups are talking. The kid table is over there, so they kind of just put him in their place this series. But yeah, it was good to see Burnesy come on out and do that.
Yeah, a little bit of run support for him today too, which is good. I'm sure that'll really help with the contract negotiations.
Yeah, it should. But yeah, crazy what happens when the offense, comes alive for your stud ace pitcher. And it was funny because the guy I was sitting next to when the Orioles got that run in the 8th, because we saw Kimbrel warming up, he just kept being like, God, I hope they get 6 this inning. And then he was like, you should just keep Cole Irvin in. I was like, yeah, but they'll probably put in Kimbrel just to get him some work. But when they got that third, that run to put them up 3, he was like, all right, I feel a little bit better now. But he was like, definitely not all the way better. But again, it took Kimbrel a couple pitches. I think he started out 2-0, and you could hear the here we go. And then he kind of just settled in. And again, it was the grown-ups are talking. Please go sit back down. So good to see Uncle Craig come through like that. So happy for him.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of overreactions, maybe you, me, and Spenny overreacted a little bit after the nadir of his meltdown there a couple weeks ago. But overall, happy to be proven wrong, at least up to a point. It seems pretty volatile. I'll continue to hold that stance that it's pretty volatile to continue to rely on a guy who's aging, who's had some injury issues this year, who's been inconsistent in big moments in the last couple of years, even despite all he's achieved. But yeah, good to see him settle in. And he's obviously been, I don't know if I'd say lights out, but he's been pretty steady in those kind of relief roles. And now to have it come full circle and have him get the save today, I think that portends pretty well here as they close in on that 30-win mark.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm looking at his numbers now. 9 saves, 3.63 ERA. That's perfectly fine. Again, you go back and you look at the box scores, and he had that 1 week was just the worst week that he's had. But I'm reading. I just got caught up on this. But what's his name? Who's Timmy Trumpets up in New York? He was crying. Their closer. What's his name?
Ed Luz Diaz.
Yeah, Ed Luz. They said he broke down in tears after I guess he's blown a couple saves this week, and they were he was in tears talking to the media last night. Lindor them had to kind of come over and console him. And I'm thinking about him and Kimbrel was kind of in that same little area as him, and good for Kimbrel for keeping it together. But again, it's this isn't an Orioles problem. This is all around baseball. Closers are not perfect. This stuff happens. Ed Luz was one of the best closers in baseball for a long time, and guy blows saves. Like, it happens. So yeah, people, it's going to happen again. He'll blow plenty more, but as of right now, he's helping them win. And he's a big part of why they're 29-15 right now. It's also a big part of why they're not 33-12 or something, but
sure. But yeah. And you're going to have those up and downs throughout the season, like no matter what you're talking about, but baseball is just like that, man. It's just one of those sports, and really the only sport of its kind. You can't run out the clock. You can't run away and hide. You got to give the guy a shot. And with that comes a guy who has to, take advantage of the opportunity that he's given. And with closers, it's the only thing I can really equate it to is kickers in football. Yep. And like, it's just such a lonely position, so psychologically taxing when you're not doing well. And when you're feeling it, it's going great. But I feel like you're right. I feel like we can't really overstate how easy it is to just kind of have one bad moment and then just start to spiral. And then you got to slowly build your psyche back up, and you slowly got to find that groove when you're throwing it well. You got to get back to that spot. And it takes time. It's a gradual process. And hopefully he's all the way back there. I mean, I don't think it's crazy though, if they kind of continue to experiment a little bit. I mean, was it Aiken that we saw close it out the other night?
I think Aiken came in, obviously no Bauman now, but he, I think they'd kind of done that with him. Cano had a bad one on Saturday, not a bad one, but I think he walked two guys and gave up a double or something. But yeah, they've experimented with it, and they're still trying to find it. And I'm sure Mike will work the phones and they'll make a trade for a bullpen arm. I guarantee they will. Like, it's just, they know that that's the weak part of the team, and there's no chance, just no shot that they don't make a move, for this guy. It's going to be interesting. I don't know his name. Is it Helsley or Heelsley or something from the Cardinals? But they're going to get a good look at him this week, and I'm kind of excited to see him most hide, and, maybe they can say, hey, Mike, go get this guy. This is a guy who, can put them over. It's like, it's an Andrew Miller 2014 type move. Like, this is a guy who can solidify a bullpen. So let's go get that guy. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, it would fit their MO too. I mean, people are kind of evening jest, like the people that are bringing up Mason Miller. It just doesn't seem like a realistic option. I mean, speaking of the Cardinals, I mean, that was the thing everyone was talking about. Are they going to trade for this big ace? They wind up with Flaherty last year, also from the Cardinals. That obviously didn't really work out. So I don't know. It's just a club who they're going to buy low, and they're going to, hopefully not sell high as often as they have in recent years. I think with their competitiveness now and their World Series aspirations that are very much real, it's going to be a little bit less selling, and hopefully a lot less selling, and a little bit more buying in on these contracts, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think you're right. I think the puzzle is not yet complete. It's kind of easy to forget how early we are still in the season. We're another 2 months out from the All-Star break. So, it's going to be a long while before that trade deadline gets here and those hot stove rumors really start to heat up. But in the meantime, just keep tinkering and seeing what you got. But the fact that Kimbrel is solidifying himself now is a good sign.
Yeah. And it's funny. You were talking about it like, you're the psyche of a closer and all that. And you mentioned the kicker, and I immediately thought of the guy on the Cowboys who would he miss 4 straight extra points that went? Was it a playoff game, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Maher, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Mayer or Maher or whatever. But it's funny too, because baseball, again, you go back to the Oakland series, Kimbrel blows that Friday night game. You turn around and you're playing them again. It's not in the NFL. If Lamar has a bad game, he's not playing that same team the next day and the next day, like he's like baseball is, like you said, you have to literally just you have to Men in Black yourself, like erase everything that you could ever remember and just go back out there. And then it's like, oh shit, this is the same guy who just took me 450 yesterday. Like that's got to be such a mental, that's a mental pretzel. Like, how do I get over this guy especially? So baseball is just a weird sport like that. But yeah. Good old.
And I mean, the fact that he's coming back, maybe they don't have to trade for a reliever. They could trade like Jackson Holiday and Kobe Mayo for Luis Robert. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
You want to touch on that?
I saw him last night. I saw him and I walked by him and I had some choice words for him, and he just kind of put his head down. I swear to God, I will tell you off air. But yes, the outfielders are hitting the ball. This is from a friend. I feel like he's just a friend of the program, Jacob Kevin Meyer. Since Tuesday's rain out, the past year rain out night, Cowser is 6 for 10, 2 doubles, 4 walks to break his slump. His walk rate is in the 90th percentile. He's slashing 271, 521 for 892 AS. He plays plus defense today in right field. Cowser is one of the best players on one of MLB's best teams. We like, after Cowser had the 2 or 3 weeks where he was very, just not hitting and it looked bleak for him, but he's really rebounded again. And like, I'm at the game last night, and I'm looking at the box score after the game, and I was like, wait, he was 0 for 1. And then I looked, it was like, oh, he had 3 walks. And then today is 3 hits. And he throws a guy out, with a relay from right field. And he makes an incredible diving play in right. Like, he's awesome. Everything about him is awesome. I didn't see his double today. I was walking around with JoJo. I think we were getting Dippin' Dots. But
ice cream.
He said it was like a rope. Yeah, it is. It's the ice cream of the future. It's delicious too, by the way. In the helmet, top tier ballpark food. But
my buddy's got some on the Santa Monica Pier, and that machine that they got it out of had to have been 25 years old.
Oh, that was the original like Dippin' Dots machine.
Yeah. That's such a tourist trap. It was the perfect location for them.
Yeah. But Cowser, he's played very well. Mullins 2 for 4 today, 2 RBIs, stole a base. Like, that's the kind of stuff that you really like. You need these guys to start hitting. Austin Hayes he's limited at bats since he's come back, but he's pissing on the ball. I mean, he's hitting it very, very hard. And it's funny with said, obviously people have done the, like, we have to give him the Trey Turner, give him a standing ovation, just get his mindset back, get his, his confidence back up. And we were on the flag court and we couldn't see, and so, heard a hit, blah, blah, blah. People went nuts. I thought it was a home run with how loud it was. And it was said just hitting an RBI single. And you could tell that people were like really, really wanting to show Cedric, like, we support you, we got you, you're one of us, and everything's going to be all right. So I thought that was cool. Just again, the volume of the ovation for him. But again, I mean, these outfielders have played well, and I've been talking all week about the infield, how we legitimately could have Westberg, Gunnar, Mountcastle, Adley. That just leaves out Mateo at second base for all. But today was just absolutely, this whole series, just a complete total package. Friday, the 5 runs in the first inning, like, Means didn't look good in the top of the first, and I'm going, oh, here we go. Like, it's gonna be one of the games. It's not one of those games. It was a laugher, but it was a very good series this weekend. Again, with a little blip on the radar from the bullpen on Saturday.
Yeah, and maybe they're going to keep toying with the outfielders. I mean, I wouldn't have thought it would be Stowers. It would be the guy that would come up. Ryan McKenna claimed off waivers from the Giants, so he's officially out of the picture. A lot of Orioles fans, maybe myself included in times, can sort of breathe on that one, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, they still got plenty of guys that they can sort of mess around with and get a look at here. So, a lot of work to be done with this roster still, but overall, yeah, just a very complete series, even outside of this game. I thought the loss, was it last night, was, pretty disappointing with the way that Grayson pitched. Obviously, he had the no-hitter going pretty deep into that one. He allows the one hit off the kind of weak little slider out to right field there, and that was tough to see. But winds up with the one hitter, and overall, you talk about getting run support. I mean, you would think 3 would do it in a game like that, but that was another one where a little bit of bullpen struggles and everything like that. But yeah, just overall, it was a very complete series, going all the way back to the 9-2 win on Friday. So yeah, they're rolling right now. They're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and Gunnar has home run in, I guess, 3 straight games. I didn't even realize that. That ball again, the ball. Yeah,
MLB by 2. Yeah, he's got 15, I think, is the number, and I think it's Shohei or a couple other guys at 13. So yeah, he's continuing to show up and show out.
That ball he hit today, and again, we were sitting at the very top, the last row of 38, I think, which is the like friends and family, like right down there. But again, I mean, we were dead center, right behind home plate, and when he hit that ball, again, it was, you just know off the bat, it sounds different in person, like, especially when you're sitting that close. That was incredible. Like, that was such a display of hitting. It's just, he's 22 years old. Like, it's stupid. And I've tweeted it, or I texted it to you guys before. I tweeted it today, but he's trying to lead the league in I got it double plays. Like, let me take this one, Jorge. I'll do it myself. He did it tonight, or he did it today. He did it a couple times over the weekend. He's as electric as electric can get. He's the best. I was talking to the guy next to me, and I go, his uniform looks like he rolled around in like a pig pen by like the end of the 3rd inning every single game, like just head to toe in dirt. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, he loves it that way. He likes to cover his scent up. He's kind of got with the hair and the stash, he's kind of got like some mangy dog vibes to him. So he's covering his scent up out there with all the dirt and stuff. He's making sure they can find him. The mangy dog Gunnar, dude. Imagine if they were only 1 run behind the other night and that Oppo Taco homer tied it up. That would have brought the roof off of that place. I mean, if there was one, obviously. I mean, that was you talk about hard hit balls. Like that one's going to get forgotten a little bit because it didn't wind up really being consequential. But man, he absolutely just pissed on that one too. And yeah, I mean, 3 straight home runs. It's just like, what is he? He's probably like 4th or 5th down the MVP odds right now. I think Soto's leading in terms of odds, depending on the book. But like that's like with his defense and the position that he plays, like it surprises me that he's not further up there in the conversation right now.
So again, Jacob Calvin-Meyer. This was at 10 today. AL MVP odds on DraftKings: Juan Soto plus 225, Bobby Witt plus 300, Aaron Judge plus 500, Gunnar Henderson plus 700, Kyle Tucker and Adley plus 2,000. And he says it's possible Henderson and Rutschman end the season battling when they're to AL MVP. And I've tweeted this like 2 weeks ago. I go, it's the era going to be Gunnar, Soto, or Judge who's going to win MVP. It's going to be one of those 3. And you can put Adley in the conversation. But like, it's not going to be Bobby Witt because the Royals are not going to win that division, and his stats are not. He's not going to hit 50 home runs. He's not going to do anything that can vault him over Judge, Soto, or Adley, or Gunnar. I don't think nothing he can do with his numbers unless he's 50-70 or 50-50. Like it's not going to happen. Because again, they're not going to win the division. I think all summer it's going to be writers, broadcasters. I think everyone's going to be drooling over Yankees Orioles.
And there's like voters and writers can admit to this or not, but there is a pinstripe bias in these conversations.
100%.
Like especially with how well they're playing this year, like that's going to be hard to overcome, I think. But if the Orioles stay in the mix and ideally if they win the division, I think that could be enough to put him over the top if he keeps even close to this pace.
It's whatever. I think it's going to be the best player on whatever team wins the division. If the Yankees win it, it's going to be Soto or it's going to be Judge. If the Orioles win it, I think it's going to be Adley or I think it's going to be Gunnar. Because again, it's like they're going to fall the 22-year-old Goldilocks shortstop with the mangy dog mustache who makes plays like this, and they're going to show him making his plays. And he's on pace to hit 50 some home runs. If he hits 45 home runs and he plays Gold Glove level defense at 22. On a team that's going to win 101 games, 102 games, you kind of have to give it to him. Same thing. Soto could have, and Soto could hit 40 home runs. They win 101. His on base percentage is 460 or something stupid like that. And Judge can hit 50 home runs or something like that. But I think it's going to be those same. Tucker, awesome. The Astros are not going to win their division, and he's not going to hit 65 home runs, so he's not going to win the MVP. It's just how it works, So
tough.
I've been sitting on that for a while.
Tough weekend for our guy Papa John Schnatter. We had a bad incident at Valhalla in Louisville, and now we've got Gunnar Henderson. He's running that joint into the ground.
I tweeted and I said Gunnar's going to put you guys out of business and tag them, and somebody was like, "Yeah, but think of how much he's bringing into them too." And I was like, "I get it, but." He's gonna put those. I don't think they knew what they were like. It reminds me of in 2012 when the Orioles were in the season. We thought they would be bad, and my roommate and I at Towson were like, "Oh, it's 50% off." And again, we're broke college kids. Like, "Oh, it's 50% off when the Orioles score 5, not score 5 and win. When they score 5." And obviously, we know what happened in 2012. And like literally at the beginning of the year, we're like, "Yeah, we'll do it every time they do it. Every time they score 5, we'll get Papa John's." By like mid-April, I was like, "Dude, I can't do this anymore." Like
you were literally Papa John. You had the 40 pizzas in 30 days. You were sweating garlic.
My blood was like 98% garlic sauce, and it was like at one point we were like, we're only gonna get chicken now. Like we don't have any more room for pizzas. Like we do not have any more room in our fridge, and so that's what this reminds me of though. Like I'm trying to think of something for the summer, like something with a mustache for Gunnar. If Gunnar. I think he makes the home run derby, and like I'll grow out. Like we all just need to grow out our mustaches for the watch party at Jimmy's. Like that would be great. And then like I'll eat. I don't know. We'll do something with pizzas and eating, and I don't know. But that, or I was like, we need to do something with like the Black Eyed Susan hot sauce, who is now featured on Hot Ones. And I was like, I was gonna say like I'll take a shot of hot sauce, their hottest hot sauce for every home run he hits, or something like that. But yeah. He's incredible. He's incredible. Watching him play live is such a treat and such a joy. And we are very, very lucky that he's one of us. So JoJo again fell in love with his song today. She goes, "Daddy, can you put this song on my playlist?" It's like, yes, you're goddamn right. I will put this song in your playlist. So good for Gunner. We love a Gunner.
Yeah, we do. We do love him very, very much, and we'll see what Papa John thinks about him. But yeah, overall, I mean, just a very, very successful series, I think. I mean, it did suck to lose that one with Grayson pitching a gem, especially with him really fresh off the IL there. Nice to see. It's good to see Hayes coming back, to your point. That was a guy who was just we threw the word non-competitive a lot out early in the season, and I think like it's tough with a guy like Hayes who you want to root for. He's definitely like when he's going, he could be a fan favorite. I think he's just a down-to-earth, likable dude with a good head on his shoulders, but it just was not working out to start the year. But if he can come up and get things rolling again, that'll be very good for them. And it can kind of, make some of the decisions a little bit less painful when it comes to subbing guys in, or, if you need him to spot start or whatever. But overall, yeah, with the way Kowser's kind of coming back into form here, that's good to see as well. And they can kind of just continue to tinker with that third outfield spot as well. And even, with what's going on with Santander as well, I mean, you can tinker there too, I think, a little bit.
Sat behind his parents today. They were a row in front of me. If you haven't seen his dad, they're legitimately twins. It's crazy how,
I believe
yeah, it was very funny to see because obviously we saw his mom in the Mother's Day video last week. She walks around like a celebrity. She's saying hi to everyone. She's smiling at everyone. It was good. But yeah, and again, you talked about Cal, like everyone crap him when he wasn't doing well, but it's like we've said over and over, like this is baseball. If you've watched baseball, this is how it goes. Like he's not a 450 hitter. Of course not. He's not a 1300 OPS guy. Like this is probably more of what he is. He's not a 0 for his last 13 guy. Like same thing with Hayes. He made an All-Star team 8 months ago. He's starting in the All-Star game. He's the only Orioles starter last year. They won 102 games. So it's like, the people who get way too high and then way too low, it's like just find the medium, find the happy medium, and that's who they are. And again, it's like this is who Westberg, this is who Kowser is. These are who all these guys are. So like Santander batting 210, he's not going to be batting 210 in 3 weeks. He's going to have 8 more home runs, or he's going to have 5 more home runs or something. He's going to be fine. But like again, everyone they're finding their way, they're bouncing back. Other guys will cool off, and that's how baseball goes. Like it's not football. We can't be so reaction. Like we can't have just react on every single game. Like it's such like life or death. So
yeah, we talk about it in the we've talked about it off air, maybe even on air. Like to just look at the last 10 in the standings and draw with that from you will, and not even diving into the sabermetrics, 6-4 in their last 10. That's pretty solid. I mean, you could definitely make a living off that. Maybe you prefer to be 7-3 a little bit more often. Maybe you can go 8-2 or 9-1. I mean, that would be great too. But overall, they just continue to win games and win series, and they still haven't been swept this year. Knock on wood. So there's just not a whole lot to complain about. Not really a ton to say, I don't think, because offense went bananas on Friday nights. A little bit of a letdown there in the second half of the game on Saturday, and then today just kind of another complete win, where it just all feels like it's clicking right now. So they're feeling it.
The one thing we can't complain about is the Yankees just are not losing. And again, it's like when they came into Baltimore, the Orioles bullied them. That was like, again, like the grown-ups are talking, please sit back down. And ever since then, Judge has turned back into Aaron Judge, and now he's 3 home runs behind, Gunner. And
I remember, incredible. We all remember what the vibes and the conversation was like heading into that series. I mean, it was a 4-gamer. It was like, holy shit, like let's just try to not get swept here and see what we can do. Mm-hmm. And overall, they did what they did, and it just speaks to how long these seasons are and how, like you said, you can't be super reactionary.
Yeah, but yeah, again, that series seemed to light a fire under the Yankees because again, they've just. The Orioles have played good baseball, and they're 2 games back. The Yankees have played, I think, 2 more games. Yeah, like Yankees are 33-15. The Orioles are 29-15. So the Yankees have played more, but again, they're winning right now. They've won 7 in a row. And like, guess what? It's not going to happen. It's not going to last all season. So like, this is they'll come back down to earth. They'll have a bad stretch. The Orioles will have a bad stretch, but it's just you grind it out and. Just try and hold on till the end, and I'll kind of finish up here with Grayson. That was awesome watching him do that, his first start back after people were worried. I wasn't worried. I was like, I think this is like a rest thing. But there were people who were like, oh my God, now Grayson is down. You know, what are we going to do? But watching him do that was awesome. Like, that's just, he's so easy to root for. Same thing with Means on Friday. Like, just what an easy guy. They're just all easy guys to root for. Like, Cole Irvin is thrown, like, you know, he's given up one run in like 25 innings, and he comes out of the bullpen today in the 7th and 8th. And it's like, these guys are just like, let's just go win. Let's just chuck. Let's go shove this ball down their throat. Let's go win. And it's so much fun having a team like this. It's just watching Grayson dominate like that was awesome. It does suck that he didn't get the win, or he doesn't, you know, he'll forget this game, but like, that's a game that he should build on and be like, this was maybe his best stuff he's ever had. So that was awesome to watch. And again, just Corbin today. And then hope the rest of the cavalry can bring it on home this week in St. Louis.
Yeah, Grayson's body language really says everything. I know we get a lot of really cool behind the scenes content and everything, and you've talked about the Next Chapter documentaries. I got to catch up on those. I kind of do wish, and I don't know how this would really work because of how long the season is, and you know, all the permutations that go into baseball that don't go into other sports, but I kind of do wish we could get like a, Drive to Survive or Full Swing or Hard Knocks type thing with a team, just so I could hear what Grayson is yelling into his glove after he strikes a guy out in high leverage. Dude, when he gave up that one hit and you're like, is it coming off the rails? Are they going to take him out here? No, he just steps right back up, punches that dude out, is fired up, screaming into his glove and shouting, let's go, as he walks off the mound. We've seen that from him a number of times now, but that was maybe my favorite sort of outburst that I've seen from him. And I'd love to get some insight into what exactly is said there. I'm sure he probably can't even remember it because it's so heat of the moment. But yeah, that's for a guy who, and we've both met him, really convivial, kind of nice, kind of Texas-y type dude. Like it is really cool to see him get kind of fired up, and he's just a joy to watch.
Yeah, he's awesome. And it's funny. So it was our friend's birthday, Sophia. She runs the social media for the Orioles. So it was Nicole's birthday. Nicole does all the video, but we were with all them in a suite last night. And one of the photographers, they were all off. But one of the photographers was with us, Peyton. And she had all the, like the live feed of all the pictures, like in their shared docs on her phone and all that. So like 5 seconds after he strikes the guy out and he's yelling into his glove, we have all the pictures, like boom, 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 boom. And she's like, look at these. These are like incredible. And again, it's like the emotion. You could just tell. I'm with you. Like watching him get fired up fires me up. And it's so good. I would love, like you said, to just have a mic somewhere to be like, what? I mean, obviously you couldn't play any of it, I'm sure, but that was awesome to see. And again, he does. I mean, he lets you know on the mound how he's feeling, and if he doesn't like a call, I remember the game in Bowie when his first start in Bowie. He got squeezed by the umps a little bit, and as he comes off, he's yelling something at the ump. We're like, this is first start in Double-A, and he's like chirping this umpire. Like, so
I wouldn't want to be that umpire. I mean, he's a big, strong guy, like big, strong guy. Yeah,
big. I mean, so big, very big. But that was awesome to see. Again, the pitching, even with the blow up in not the blow up, but the bullpen blowing the game on Saturday. I thought all phases were awesome all weekend, and that's a good Mariners team. That was just a complete, well executed series by Baltimore, and that's just what they do now. Like, it's not like this is just who they are. I think so. It shouldn't come as a surprise to us, but it's awesome to see them play this well, and again to keep, like, who do the Yankees play next? All right, the Yankees play Seattle, so hopefully the Seattle can get some now. But of course, they're best again, so that's fun.
Let's see, Seattle, Boston, Baltimore, Milwaukee. The horse from Schenectady won the Preakness today. Stanley. Who is he? Who is he? All right. Any stars? Any awards you want to give out?
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I'm looking over now. I'll go Kowser. I mean, Kowser was awesome. Like they said, like Jacobs tweeted, like he had a great series. It's nice to see him like bounce back. I know like his dad had some stuff to say on the media, and his dad was like, I got to take a break because Lord knows social media is not nice to people when they're not performing well, and the faceless Twitter trolls, just come out of the woodwork. So it's good to see him again. That's a guy who all he wants to do is help his team, and he did that big time this weekend and help them get some.
it's fucking crazy, guys. Like, we got to relax. Like, I don't necessarily do this myself, but like, if you're going to do it to like a McKenna or whatever, like, all right, he's just a journeyman. He's not like much of a factor. Like, Cowser's a first round pick. He's played amazing to start the year. Like, we got to settle down and like not do this kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to tell people out of social media, but if you're getting my guy, Raise Hell, Praise Dale Cowser to sign off, like that's a bad job by all involved.
Yeah, it's shitty. It's straight up shitty. But yeah, I completely forgot that he had 2 hits on Friday night. So he's just 857 OPS, 263 average. Things you love to see. So absolutely. Shout out Cowser, the moo man. JoJo was mooing her goddamn face off today. She made a sign and everything for him. She brought him some gems. They're beads, but she calls them gems because she wants to give them to him. So we have like a full on obsession with Colton. So.
Does she know that Daddy's kind of low key buddies with him?
Yeah, we tried to meet up before the game, but we weren't able to make it happen. I was going to see if we get a picture with her in the sign, or him in the sign that she made. But I was like, we'll get it done. We'll get it there eventually. So he is aware, but yeah, he's just it's awesome to see him have a good series, and hopefully it just translates. And well, I didn't hear him. I got to go back and rewatch the his interview, but it seemed funny when I think Gunnar or somebody Westberg splashed him with water. So they're just Absolutely. The guys having fun. Having fun winning ball games.
Dogs for me would be, I'll just go all the starting pitchers. Let's get Meansy in there. Obviously Grayson with the big performance, and then Burnes today. You got high standards, but he's finally living up to them. That's great to see that he's making Big Daddy Arditti happy. So yeah, good to see. Just good to see 3. They weren't all wins, obviously, but just 3 solid performances, solid to very good from the starting pitching staff. That's nice. So those are my 3 dogs.
Love it. Love it.
Okay. Anything else?
Rubenstein walking around in a pullover when it's 75, 80 degrees we got to talk to him. Also, people are calling him Daddy David. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I can call him Daddy David.
Daddy Warbucks. Yeah, no, he's
Daddy David. Daddy Dave is interesting.
Big Daddy Dave, big strong guy. He's a private equity guy. That's what they do. They crank their in these private equity like hedge fund offices, they crank the AC way down to keep productivity and like focus high. So that's why all the finance bros wear like Patagonia vests and stuff around. That's my guess as to why he wears that. The Carlisle office. I know where you were going
when you said when he sits there, the private equity guys, they sit there and they crank. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know where this is going, but
that speaks to your mind, not mine. I had a point to make and I made it. And that's why all the finance fuck boys wear that stuff around. So yeah. And the Carlisle group offices probably like the freezer and the bear. Like people getting stuck in that. Yeah, it's tough.
I will say it is funny where every single time, again, I've seen him do it a couple times now, but he'll walk down to his seat and just a standing ovation. It doesn't matter what's happening during the game, what time of the game it is, who's pitching, who's hitting, anything. People literally stand up and give him a standing ovation. And he does his thank you, and then he motions for everyone to sit down, and they don't stop clapping. He's just, and now him tossing out hats, that's just his thing now. I love it so much. It's the best. He was doing it in the upper deck today with the kids, for youth sports day. So he was up there in the 300s, just tossing out hats.
Shout out to our guy, Big Shot Bob, who's sitting in the McNulty's, the guy that cucked McNulty's seats, way down there behind home plate, the Ripken seats. I mean, that's prime territory. And Uncle David rolled through there. He was throwing him out down there too. So he's taking care of everyone, all tiers.
It's the best. I love him so much.
Me too.
Good guy.
Yep. Good guy. Good friend of ours. All right. That all we got, my friend?
I think so. I'm sending out my series updated green checks, red X's, and it's just a lot of green. A lot of green on here.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you to everyone who tuned in to our live series recap of the Orioles taking the series against the Seattle Mariners, moving to 29-15. Let's see if they can get back to that 2-1 win-loss ratio. That would be fun. Yankees continuing to bomb it up in the Bronx. So they got the work cut out for them to keep up with it, but they're showing they're up to the task. So great stuff all around this weekend. We will be back to recap the next series. Who do the Orioles have, Arditti?
They're in St. Louis, and then they play the White Sox for 4. That's a series that, again, that's like you should 3 out of 4 would be fantastic. A sweep would be like good. That's a bad team, and that's a team that you can just kind of assert your dominance and just kind of let them know who's boss, and that they seem to be coming at kind of a perfect time. So hopefully they can get this road trip. I don't know who they play after that. After Chicago, I don't know if they're back home or not, but we'll have to wait and see. So.
All right. No need to get out over our skis then. We will be there for those series. And you can tune in with us in the meantime on social media at Exit52 Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I am at Jake Louque. That's LOUQUE. Eric is at EDITTI22. Spenny is at Ravens 4 Dummies. That's the number 4. Taylor at Taylor Smythe 10. And Brian at Barstool Banks. Got to give a shout out to our guy.
Yes. He should have been the dog of the series.
He should have been, yeah. He's my late dog of the series. Congratulations to our good friend Brian Black on officially popping the question, and I think he got a yes. I didn't officially see that yes was confirmed, but there appeared to be a party afterwards. So I'd assume things went well, but who knows? He'll have to report back on that. But very happy for our guy in all seriousness. So congratulations to him on a big weekend. Claps all around. And as we get out of here, too, if you liked what you watched, feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube. Drop us a like and a comment in the video to get that algorithm pumping. And tell a friend about the X52 podcast if you like what we got going on, too. Word of mouth, always, always, always the number one option to spread the word about us. So we appreciate y'all listening, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.
Bye.
Peace out.